The One Don gang trial has been postponed until October 19, as 2 of the defendants have tested positive for COVID-19. When the matter was called up in the Home Circuit Court this morning, Chief Justice Brian Sykes told the court that positive COVID-19 cases have been detected where both men are being housed. Our news center was this afternoon informed that Mr. Golding and Mr. Ormsby tested positive for the virus. Meanwhile, Justice Sykes this morning complained that 19 months into the COVID-19 pandemic, police stations have not been provided with technology to connect to courts via video link. The Chief Justice said he will be pressing the Jamaica Constabulary Force to have the technology installed. He stated that remote hearings will continue after the pandemic.
We go to an environmental issue of a different kind now. It involves a chicken farm in a residential community in St. Mary and flies, lots of them. Residents say the flies are making life unbearable. Now, we must warn you that some of the images might upset viewers. Mosquitoes are to Portmore in St. Catherine what flies are to Rosen St. Mary. At least that has been the case for a little over 2 years.
I walking on fly, I sleeping on flies, I eating flies.
The flies are everywhere, inside and outside the home. Not even the mesh at the windows help.
I'm in misery. You can't cook your food. Every day you have to wash your clothes, wash your kitchen towel, because the flies, they fly on it. They're flying in your nose, in your eye, and me can't manage them fly here. Me I look place we move now.
And just as another resident paused to speak with our correspondent, a fly had invaded her cup of tea. If you live in the area, eating is like this. You have to contend with flies at your feet while having to go through great lengths to ensure they don't get into your food.
You go in the bathroom, you take a shower, and you come out. There's a fly stuck in your back, drinking the water off your skin. You're eating and some food particles touch your finger. There's a fly on it. It's unbearable. We cannot live like this.
This morning I have to get up out of my bed. That's when my daughter have to say, oh, me wake up so early. Because the fly won't go down in my ears. In my bedroom. You see me talking to you, no fly a pitch by me. You see? You have to eat your food, you have to cover it up. You know how much people have to dash your liquor? Because the fly then gone down in them drink.
Sometimes I am not well. Sometimes I want to go and take a 5 minutes rest. Instead of taking a 5 minutes rest, I have to spend that 5 minutes killing flies from my bedroom.
And it's not just the flies, there's also a stench.
If you go down the ackee tree and sit down, pure flies. And you can't even stomach your breath. You have to put on your mask to sit in the yard. Because the smell is awful.
30 had me live here so far. And I never sick. And from these people come down there, I am sicking. Every minute I have to be into the doctor. Because when the smell of the doodle come up, it is so bad.
This is the source of the residents' discomfort. It's a chicken farm owned by politician Damian Crawford. The residents say they've made attempts to contact him, as well as the St. Mary Health Department several times.
They answered me back and said they're going to pass it on to somebody else, to the health team, something like that. But until now, nobody contact me. Damian Crawford come down there several times. He don't contact me. He don't contact no one. And, you know, it have to stop because we can't take it no more.
Mr. Crawford said he would not comment at this time, but we spoke with the farm manager, Sadiqi Khan. He says he's aware of the fly nuisance and pointed us to damaged manure belts, which he notes have been fixed.
When the belts are damaged, the manure stays on the belt, and when it becomes stagnant, it's grown for breeding for the flies.
The residents are, however, not convinced and are again appealing for the intervention of the health department. Over 20 persons were arrested and charged by Clarendon Police yesterday for breaches of the Disaster Risk Management Act. As you'll hear in this report, some of those who were arrested say they were wrongfully detained.
Angry residents in Clarendon Tuesday evening. These persons were detained during a joint police military operation in the parish.
Raids were conducted within Canaanites area and along the Chapelton Main Road, where several persons, 21 to be exact, were charged for breaches of the Disaster Risk Management Act.
But most of the detainees who spoke to our news team from inside this truck complained that they were wrongfully detained.
In my yard with my mask on my face, I get called out to come in here, so me I'm a good house. What my rights? And I'm my rights, me are doing it.
Despite the plea, they were all taken to the Maypen police station and processed.
These rules and these laws are out there to protect us. It is not our intention to arrest and charge anyone, but if we fail to comply, we will be forced to take the necessary action.
In the meantime, several motorists were also ticketed for various breaches of the Road Traffic Act. And as the lawmen strive to restore law and order, they say they'll be increasing their presence throughout the parish in the coming days. Anthony Lug, TVJ News.
Several taxi and bus operators were vaccinated today, even as concerns continue about hesitancy among people in the public transport sector. The details in this report.
In a push to get more Jamaicans vaccinated, the public transport sector is shifting into higher gear to get as many taxi and bus operators as possible vaccinated. A PPV drivers vaccination exercise at the Halfway Tree Transport Center on Wednesday saw things getting off to a slow start, but it picked up as the day progressed. Project leader for the private sector vaccination initiative, Safri Brown, says the idea is to increase the take-up of vaccines among transport operators across the island.
We like to hit at least 500 a day. Some sites will do 1,000 depending. But we can do up to 1,000 vaccines today, so anybody that comes today will be able to vaccinate them.
Drivers, conductors, and their families are encouraged to take advantage of the preferential treatment. The 2-dose AstraZeneca and the single-shot Johnson & Johnson vaccines were on offer. But even with the efforts being made, some taxi operators remain hesitant.
All right, at first, I'm very optimistic about the vaccine before I reach out. But then, when I read and find out, say, whether I take it or not, I still can contract the virus, and I still can spread the virus. Then I say, I'm not in the east right now if I take it. I still can, all thing I go do, I listen my chance from dying.
I'm going to take it in, but I'm wait look first. Because my husband claims if I take it and anything wrong with me, he's not business with me. So I'm hold on look first, but I'm going to take it. Because I have my visa and everything. So if I want to travel, can't travel. So, and sooner or later, they want to tell me I can't renew my badge. So I'm going to take it, but I just hold on look first.
The authorities were hoping to vaccinate 600 bus and taxi operators, but up to mid-afternoon, only 100 persons had taken the jab. President of the Transport Operators Development Sustainable Services, Edgston Newman, is urging as many of his colleagues as possible to take the jab when they have the opportunity.
I have a director who's in the hospital in Miami, and I sent another director to go and visit him in Miami, and he could not visit my director because he was not vaccinated. We soon reach that stage, and I'm saying to it's better do it now.
In the meantime, Transport Minister Robert Montague is providing this incentive for vaccinated bus and transport operators.
We have had cooperation with Fresco and with Johnson United Petroleum, who are giving out gas vouchers for taxi and bus operators who turn up with a vaccination card. They will be getting gas vouchers. So it's another way the private sector is partnering with government.
Each taxi driver will also have to present an up-to-date road license or badge. Herman Green, TVJ News.
And in an update from the organizers of the Transport Operators Vaccination Program, TVJ News was informed that just under 200 people were vaccinated in today's exercise. The organizers were aiming to vaccinate 700 operators and their family members. Now, Jamaica recorded a 16.8% COVID-19 positivity rate on Tuesday. This is a 9.2% decrease when compared to Monday's 26%. 98 new cases were reported in the last 24 hours from 717 tests, pushing the overall case count to 85,261. 507 people are hospitalized with the virus. Of that number, 67 are severely ill and 34 critically ill. Meanwhile, 7 more people have died from COVID-19. The death toll now stands at 1,943. There are 29,070 active cases on island.